Good morning, and I apologize for my tardiness this morning. I was on the phone with the credit card company because I sent a payment to the wrong card. So we were correcting that. So let's all gather ourselves and prepare ourselves for prayer this morning. Blessed are those who weep, for their tears will be wiped away. Matthew 5:4. Light, golden light, fresh from the source. Colors, creation's colors, calling our senses. Life, life in its oneness, life in its manifold oneness, all from you. You are the sun from whom the morning shines. You are the river in whom each life form flows. Each face, each race, each cell within our ever-living soul. This new day we greet you. Let's be still and aware of God's presence within and all around. So we are on day 2 of Beyond Words, Daily Readings and the ABCs of Faith by Frederick Buechner. And today's word is a name, Abishag. When King David was nearing the end of his days, not even his electric blanket I'll start over. When King David was nearing the end of his days, not even his electric blanket could fend off the ominous chill he felt rising in his bones. The fires of life were all but out, and in an effort to rekindle them for the old man, and at the same time preserve their own jobs, the establishment enlisted the aid of a beautiful young woman named Abishag, in the hope that she, if anybody, could start his blood coursing again. They persuaded her to join him in the sack. By this time, however, the old man was past rising to the occasion, and not long afterward, perhaps as a result of his unsuccessful attempts to do so, he died. When one of his sons offered to make an honest woman of Abishag by marrying her, the establishment turned him down on the grounds that by taking over his father's girlfriend, he was just making a play for taking over his father's throne. What finally becomes of Abishag is not recorded, and perhaps it's just as well. This sad story makes it clear that in peace as well as in war, there's no tragic folly you can't talk a nation's youth into simply by calling it patriotic duty. Food for thought from Frederick Buechner and from Psalm 27. A David psalm, ironically. Light, space, zest, that's God. So with him on my side, I'm fearless, afraid of no one and nothing. When vandal hordes ride down, ready to eat me alive, those bullies and toughs fall flat on their faces. When besieged, I'm calm as a baby. When all hell breaks loose, I'm collected and cool. I'm asking God for one thing, only one thing, to live with him in his house my whole life long. I'll contemplate his beauty. I'll study at his feet. That's the only quiet, secure place in a noisy world. The perfect getaway, far from the buzz of traffic. God holds me head. Excuse me. God holds me head and shoulders above all who try to pull me down. I'm headed for his place to offer anthems that will raise the roof. I'm already singing God songs. I'm making music to God. Listen, God, I'm calling at the top of my lungs. Be good to me. Answer me. When my heart whispered, seek God, my whole being replied, I'm seeking him. Don't hide from me now. You've always been right there for me. Don't turn your back on me now. Don't throw me out. Don't abandon me. You've always kept the door open. My father and my mother walked out and left me, but God took me in. Point me down your highway, God. Direct me along a well-lighted street. Show my enemies whose side you're on. Don't throw me to the dogs, those liars who are out to get me, filling the air with their threats. I'm sure now I'll see God's goodness in the exuberant earth. Stay with God. Take heart. Don't quit. I'll say it again. Stay with God. Psalm 27. And today's poem is titled Custody. It's by Luisa A. Gloria. And she says, a few years ago, there was heightened police activity at one end of a residential area near the university where I teach. When I wrote this poem, I was thinking of how often there's such a thin line between danger and the ordinary, especially for bodies of color. It's difficult and even terrifying to move around in a world where they can't be sure who or what they can trust. I also thought about the word custody itself and how its meanings casually shift from the idea of protection or care to that of legal restraint and imprisonment. And perhaps because it was summer then, we'll take long evening walks and look at the sky, squinting to see the constellations. It seemed to me that Orion, that great hunter in mythology, armed with a bronze club and always accompanied by his dogs, belonged in this poem. Custody by Luisa A. Gloria. Chopping cilantro and flat leaf parsley on a bamboo board at the sink, mincing, garlic and onions, late mellowing light, the air bordering on cool but tinged bitter green with the smell of growing armagoso in the yard. I can keep the kitchen door open because the side gate is locked, and the week-long siege at the street corner is over. We did not know the man, they say, trespassed early Monday morning into someone's yard with a firearm, did not know what altercation, if any, led to someone calling the police. So he ran and barricaded himself in his own house. They came in force then, rifles drawn, sealed off one end of the block. Those of us who could still come and go out the other end brought back reports every day, over 4 days. How many squad cars where the waiting ambulance was parked? The bomb unit. Who saw the robot deployed with a phone? The negotiators, the TV crew. We did not witness how, before dawn, on the 4th day, finally they took him into custody. From the Latin custodia, meaning guardianship, keeping, care. Now this man who neighbors say used to pelt their doors with donuts or attach stuffed animals on leashes for walks is in a hospital or facility. Is it wrong to wonder if it lasted as long as it did, instead of arriving at a swifter resolution? Doors broken in, tasers, clubs, bullets sprayed into his body because of the color of his skin? Or is it possible to believe that finally something of change might be moving slowly through the dismal atmosphere, tempering and holding in check, allowing the thought to stay the trigger, the heart to register its trembling before letting the weapons fly? In summer, because dark descends more slowly, it's hard to scan the sky for the hunter and his belt studded with 3 telltale bright stars. Harder to remember once he boasted he would hunt down and kill all of Earth's wild animals to make it safe. But here he is, adrift in the inky darkness, club and shield eternally raised, his own canine units at his heels. And here we are, still trying to sort villain from victim, wound from welcome opening. Custody by Louisa A. and Gloria. So let's reflect on our devotion, our psalm, and our poem. For the freshness of this new day, thanks be to you, O God. For morning's gift of clarity, it's light like the first day's dawn. Thanks be to you. In this newborn light, let us see afresh. In this gateway onto what has never been before, let our soul breathe hope for the earth, for the creatures, for the human family. Let our soul breathe hope. Let's pray for the day and for peace. On this day, the blessings of heaven. On this day, the blessings of earth. On this day, the blessings of sea and sky, to open us to life, to ground us in life, to fill us with life and with wonder. On those we love this day, and on every human family, the blessings of heaven, the blessings of earth, the blessings of sea and of sky. Amen. Good morning, Rick. Good morning, Terry. Well, I don't know what you have planned today. At the top of my list, since I've already made some phone calls this morning, is a phone call to my eye doctor to make an appointment, because I haven't seen him since a year ago, February, and I usually see him annually. With our COVID pandemic and quarantine, I'm sure many of you have lost track of your annual doctor's visits. So I encourage you to not neglect yourself and make sure that you take care. May you have a blessed day, and I'll see you on Friday on time.